Boy, oh boy, what is DC Council doing now? Hello, DC. My name is McAngelo Dr. McScruggs, and I am seeking the privilege to become your next DC Council member at large. Well, the wrong healthcare decisions just seem to keep coming out of the Wilson building, passing through DC Council as law. On Tuesday, October 20th, DC Council voted to pass a bill into law that would allow a child 11 years of age and older to be administered a vaccine without parental consent, so long as the doctor administering the vaccine deemed the child to be able to give informed consent. Really? What is that about? Oh, and here's the kicker. The bill makes the parent pay for the vaccine even though they didn't authorize it. Under this proposed law, doctors may request payment for administration of vaccines by going to insurance companies to request payment, also without parental consent. Now, federal law requires parents sign papers for a child before they can be seen by a physician. So how is it even possible that a child can give an informed consent for a vaccine and the vaccine be given without parental consent? Get ready for the avalanche of lawsuits. A parent's right to direct their child's health care cannot be undermined by the council. Some parents may feel, and rightfully so, that this is a slight to their right to exercise their authority over a child in his or her development. How can, especially African American parents who remember the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, not see this as a possible setup for using their child or their children as guinea pigs for a vaccine trial or experiment? Now, critics may say that this is just a perception, and that fears of the consequences of this law setting a basis for reenactment of a scenario similar to the Tuskegee syphilis experiment are not based in reality. But one has to understand that for a parent who is trying to navigate a child's development and care, perception is often reality. Now, is it me, or does this seem so similar to the scenario of Mexican children being ripped from the arms of their parents at the southern border of the United States and placed into concentration camps, where others are placed in a position to decide their quality of life, to decide their health care decisions? By passing this law, what DC has effectively done is further compromise the parents' right to effectively govern and protect their child from what they may consider irreparable harm should the child have a reaction to the vaccine. Who's going to be responsible for the child and the care of the child then? Who will the parent blame? To assert that a child between 11 and 16 years old can fully grasp the concepts of their health care and therefore give informed consent is absurd. This is yet another reason why we need a physician on the council. As councilman, I would never have advocated for the right of doctors and school officials to usurp parental control over a child's health care. The fact of the matter is, if we're going to make certain vaccines mandatory, then we have to do that for all children, where not having a vaccine would make a public health crisis among young people an obvious inevitability. But taking away parental control of healthcare decisions and giving it squarely to physicians and school officials is absolutely horrible and absolutely the wrong way to go. Additionally, you create havoc for physicians who now have to go against the parents' wishes and administer vaccines, as well as against the parents' consent. This is a really quick way for a physician to lose a patient and potentially become embroiled in a lawsuit. The bottom line is that we can find more effective ways to mandate administration of vaccines without parental control of a child's health care being stripped away from parents. On November 3rd, vote Dr. DC Council at large. Let's start placing council members in City Hall that reflect the interests of DC citizens and not special interest groups or big pharma companies. Now, please take this message and please make it go viral. People need to know exactly what's going on. This is not about politics, and it's not about pursuing public office. This is about making sure that we have a DC council working for our interests, to meet our needs, not working for their own interests or trying to take parents' rights to be a parent away from parents. There is only one way to change this, DC, and it starts with your vote. Thank you.